Only thing with the White Sox, I say they've been coasting into the playoffs, and Tampa Bay's been having to win. It just depends on who gets hot.
The Philadelphia Eagles do have an opportunity.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say the Atlanta Falcons.
No, fuck no.
Oh god, yeah, that would have been warranted.
Paul George to show up again, and they need Reggie Jackson to be the best point guard left standing outside of Trae Young, who's hurt. What is going on, guys? My name is Kyle Davis, and all of us were all jumbled up. I have no idea what happened there. My name is Kyle Davis, and this is MV3. I'm here with Corey Sparks and T-Bone. I'm not saying that.
That's right, baby.
This is a stupid question, but how are we feeling today?
It's a great day to be a Michigan Wolverine, buddy. That's all I got for you. It's a great day.
I think we can come off the top right away. So this episode, as if you can read the title, we're just kind of predicting what the top four is going to be. I think we all know who the teams are going to be. It's just a matter of can we jumble around who is where they're going to land. Can we all agree it's still going to be Georgia, Michigan, Bama, and Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with T-Bone because he's probably the most excited about all of this. What do you think the top four, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and how are they going to land?
So, I don't think it matters. I think it's just going to matter what the matchups are. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be Michigan, Georgia, Bama, Cincy. How they do that, it doesn't really matter. I think that's the matchups they're going to do. Mm-hmm. They're not going to put Alabama, Georgia against each other again. Mm-hmm. They should, based on how everything's shaken out and where the rankings were. They should, but I think personally, Michigan should go to number 1. I don't see why a team should jump you. The resumes are pretty much identical. Good wins. The only difference is their loss is worse than Michigan's against A&M, and we lost to 11 ranked Michigan State. Past that, they beat Georgia. We beat Ohio State. We dominated our conference championship. So did they. I get it, but Michigan should be number 1. It probably won't be because Alabama, the committee has Alabama's choking on something for Alabama.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. But I think, so then what I think it should be Michigan, Bama, Cincy, Georgia.
Ooh.
That's what I think it should be.
You switched it up. I was going to say you had Cincy at 4 yesterday.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. Like I said, I don't think they're going to let Georgia, Alabama play again. I think it'd be really cool, but they don't want that. I think they think Alabama, Georgia is 1 and 2. But they can't justify dropping Michigan to 3 after what happened yesterday.
No, and they're not going to drop. In no way are they dropping Michigan.
Right.
I personally think it's going to be. I'm not saying this out of what I think it should be. I'm saying what I think it will be. I think Bama and Georgia just flip.
Yeah.
I think Bama will be 1, Michigan will be 2, Georgia will be 3, and Cincy will be 4 still.
Probably, which I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I understand it's Georgia, but they looked very human and very beatable.
For the first time in the season.
Right, but people would have said that about Ohio State last week too. Even though they lost, people thought new team, whatever, they think, and then Michigan beat the shit out of them. So I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt. I think Alabama played the better schedule than Georgia.
Oh, 100%.
No.
Yeah.
What?
I looked at it. Yeah.
Georgia played nobody.
Yeah, Georgia.
I think
really
Georgia's
didn't play
best win was Kentucky.
Or
granted,
yeah.
these are all at the time of the wins for the rankings, but they beat Clemson, who obviously we know what Clemson turned into, but they still ended up being
10-3. They only beat
10-3.
It
was a defensive battle. That Clemson ended. We don't know what their final ranking is going to be, but they're in the top 25. Arkansas eventually fell off, but they shut them out. And Arkansas has beaten a couple decent teams. Auburn, this is with Bo Nix. I think Auburn is still an underrated team when they're healthy. Obviously, injuries come into play like every other sport.
I mean,
Kentucky is another decent win, but it turns out it wasn't. Tennessee gave Alabama everything they could have. Same thing with Florida, and now we see what Florida actually is. But they beat the shit out of Florida, and Florida almost beat Bama.
So did Auburn. I mean, Alabama squeaked in. I mean, they were locked in, but they squeaked by Auburn. They were down 10-0 with like 6 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that game is more telling than what happened yesterday. For me personally, I think it's a lot closer than people think. That Georgia was number one. We saw, okay, they're beatable. They look bad, quite frankly. I don't know if that is just Kirby Smart shitting the bed in a big time game again
against Bama. He can't beat
again.
Bama. He just can't beat Bama.
Right. So I don't know if they're just not as good as we thought. Michigan and Bama and Cincy are just maybe better than everyone thought, and maybe it's a lot. Like, I think we have the 4 best teams in the nation. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
That's tough. That's tough to say because I do think Cincinnati has finally rounded a corner. Like, I was watching that Houston game the entire time, and I was thinking, wow, Houston still kind of seems like they're hanging around. They're hanging around. Yep. And then all of a sudden, like towards the end of the third quarter, they kind of shut the door, and they're not hanging around anymore. The same thing with the Alabama-Georgia game. The only game this weekend that was never close was Michigan-Iowa. And Michigan drew the easiest of the matchups, in my opinion. Granted, Cincinnati, 100%. Houston is whatever it is. You've already said whatever. This side is just dog shit or whatever. Whatever.
It is. I'm not gonna walk that back. I mean,
I didn't say you were gonna walk it back, but
yeah. I mean, you're right. Like,
I think Minnesota or Wisconsin would have given Michigan a better matchup problem than
like 42
Iowa.
to 10, right?
Yeah.
You're saying 42-10. I would say it would be within like a 10-point game if it was a Wisconsin, or because Wisconsin has a similar defense to Iowa, but they're actually capable of scoring, and we saw that down the stretch outside of against Minnesota. And we're not gonna walk this back. No, we're not walking that back. But all I was saying is that Michigan did luck out because they drew a very easy matchup in their championship game. Georgia had to play the third best team in the country by the rankings. I don't think Bama is the third best team in the country. I just don't. Like, if Bama played Ohio State, I think Ohio State would win that matchup. But that doesn't matter neither here nor there. With what we have laid out is what 2 matchups would be Bama against Cincinnati, which, do we think Cincinnati has a shot in that game?
No.
Yeah, I do. I actually do.
Ooh,
I do. I saw in disheveled Auburn team push Alabama to its limits, and they just collapsed at the end. I think Fickle is a better coach than I was going to say Malzahn. It's not Gus Malzahn at Auburn.
He is down at like USF or something.
Whoever is the head coach of Auburn now, I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I think Fickle is a better coach. I think Ritter is the better quarterback than Auburn. So if Auburn can push Alabama to its limits, and even though Alabama beat the shit out of Georgia, I think Cincinnati will give them a run for their money.
Brian Harsin, by the way.
Sure, because we know who that is.
I think he was promoted within at Auburn.
Sweet. Good for that guy.
They're doing great things over there.
Right, but do you understand my point? That people are gonna say, I don't know. I think
here's what I
fourth best team. Do.
My take on Alabama, like the last 2 games, is they were already looking at Georgia. Yeah, like they were already in because they were locked into the SEC championship game. Granted, they still couldn't lose that game, and they didn't. But they, like you said, they squeaked by getting by Auburn. I thought they should have dropped it because Auburn is not a good team, and they're even a worse team without Bo Nix. Right. And then they were just flat out planning for Georgia this entire time, and it shows. They basically used a lot of their time to plan for Georgia, and they came up with a good game plan because it's Nick Saban still. He's still the best head coach in the country.
They figured it out.
Yeah. So, okay, so we talked about Corey. What do you think about Cincinnati Alabama matchup?
I hate to be a buzzkill, and I'm kind of going to use transitive property here. I'm not going to try and use it too much because it really doesn't. It doesn't work in sports. I know T-Bone to shut that down right away.
Oh yeah, we've all talked about that. Wonky likes
Right.
to pull that every so often. I'm like,
I like to
stop
pull
it.
that a lot.
Yeah,
You both do. But
but
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the college football playoff, it's all about who's hot right now. I understand that Alabama just squeaked by Auburn. That matchup in general is one that I think always just messes with the psychology of Nick Saban. I don't think he can figure out Auburn no matter who the personnel is over there. But for Alabama to do what they did against the Georgia defense that's been dominant all year, granted they haven't had the strongest schedule, I have a tough time believing that Cincinnati's defense is going to be able to do anything to keep Alabama below, I'll say like 37, 40 points. Can Cincinnati get in a shootout and make it close? Yes, but I don't see a way that they come out on top against a team that just did what they did to a Georgia defense that's the best in the country.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
So the other matchup, and I already think I know what T-Bone's going to say, but what's Georgia, Michigan? T-Bone, stay put. You'll get your chance for this.
You guys go first. You go first.
Georgia, Michigan. Corey, what do you think would happen in a Georgia, Michigan? If that's how it falls, Georgia, Michigan, what do you think would happen in that game?
Before this week, I'd say Georgia by at least 2 scores. Now, it's honestly a coin toss. I mean, Georgia, like T-Bone said, Georgia looked very human. Granted, it is Alabama. It is Nick Saban, who is very good at dissecting all 200 whatever teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I might actually say Michigan by a field goal just because of it. Again, it's who's hot right now. And Michigan, they just got done routing. And I think that game was a lot worse than the scoreboard showed against Ohio State. They just got done, I'm going to say, routing Ohio State. They beat a tune-up game, I guess, against Iowa. No, I'm going to say that Michigan actually has a shot to beat them by a field goal just because, Georgia better be on their game after what happened last week.
So, although I agree that Michigan is playing really good football right now, Georgia's coming off of their first loss of the season. Georgia got picked apart by the passing game. I don't think Michigan is anywhere near the level in the passing game that Alabama is.
That's fair. I'm not going to argue on that one.
I'm going to be honest. The line is going to be set in Georgia's favor if that's the matchup.
I'm pretty sure it's already +9.
Yeah,
my buddy texted me. He's like, "How can they even say that if they haven't set the matchup?" I'm like, "I think they're predicting the matchup, and I think it's Georgia +9." Which, give me the point. Give me that all day. That's
So for everybody watching, real quick note: I will have a video. I can't show you the video because obviously rights and stuff, ESPN, whatever. I have a video coming up of the college football playoff. So as soon as it's released, we will give you that information, and then we will also talk about that.
If my internet goes spotty, I have the selection show to my left on my left screen. So if it goes, let me know. I'll turn it off. But just so
otherwise, I can always bring it on my phone, and I can just turn off my turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone as well. So we will definitely have it live when the playoff rankings come out.
They're currently just going over the conference championship games and
so is this also bowl? I can't remember. Is this also bowl selection?
I believe it's the New York 6. I don't think it's all of them. I think it's the final top 25, and then obviously the college football playoff, and then the other the New York
6.
The New York 6
New Year's
games.
We always say New York 6. It's a New Year's 6.
New Year's 6. New York's sounds better. Because the playoff is New Year's Eve. And the other games are New Year's Day, correct?
Okay, real quick question. He put it in the group chat, but I'm gonna ask his question for him. I don't know who is CEH.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Thank you. So Tyler, who also is generally on this podcast, is asking Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Myles Gaskin for fantasy football.
Ooh.
Let me see.
That's a good question. Myles Gaskin has been having a good couple weeks right now.
Like name recognition would say,
Chiefs.
name recognition would say Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think Gaskins has the better matchup.
I believe so.
So the Broncos are the 8th best rushing defense, and Kansas City is not very good at rushing. So I'm going to go with Gaskin.
Yeah, I would also go with Gaskin. He's been rolling pretty well, and he's been doing pretty good for me as well.
And Edwards-Helaire is just recently coming off injury. I don't know how much he's actually played. I don't own him in any, if many, leagues, so I don't know how long he's actually been off, but I know he recently came off.
Oh, and Gaskin's playing the Giants. Yeah, in my opinion, that's
Oh,
going to be like a
Gaskin.
2 or 3 score game. I mean, the Dolphins are a very hot team right now, and the
Mhm.
Giants are kind of horrible. So I'm going to say
Yeah,
Gaskin by a mile.
I would definitely put Gaskin in, Tyler, if you're watching, because
Yep.
I'm not messaging you right now.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a show, dummy.
Yeah, why don't you watch the show, you piece of
Stupid.
shit?
Actually, I'm gonna start Miami's defense. Actually,
That's
my FanDuel.
also.
Thanks,
Corey
Corey.
took care of it. Thanks,
I
Corey.
got you.
Thanks, Corey. Yeah, fuck it.
So some other New Year's 6 is going to be probably Utah, and I would guess Ohio State.
God,
for the
that's
Rose
fuck
Bowl?
that. Oh my God, that's so ugly.
Probably.
No, they're doing
Give
what
me
they do
or-
with
give
the
me-
Rose Bowl.
I know, but give me Oregon, Ohio State, and let me watch Oregon beat the shit out of them again. How about that?
I mean, that
God.
wouldn't happen a second time.
I know,
but
I
think Ohio State and Utah would be a good matchup. That's a really good
Honestly,
defense against a really
no.
good offense.
Wrong. I want to see Baylor, Ohio State.
Baylor
would be
will
good,
be in the
but-
New Year's 6. Don't worry.
I was going to say
know.
Baylor lost, but yeah.
But who would
No, Baylor
I'm looking
won.
up
No,
and down.
one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State lost.
I
Yeah.
think Baylor would face probably. I can see Baylor facing Oregon, or Baylor facing Clemson. Who won the
That's
ACC
different
last
for
night? Was it Pitt?
Pitt. Kenny
That's
Pickett,
Pitt.
baby.
Baylor
Fake
against
slide.
Pitt. I would love to see that game.
That
Baylor
would be a
against
good
Pitt.
game.
That would be a good game. We're just kind of like snowballing some games together now.
Yeah. Did you see
None of
the,
these are probably even going to happen.
Did-
But
See the fake slide
what was that?
by
Fake
Kenny
slide.
Pickett. The fake slide.
Oh yeah.
If you had I know that's supposed to be like illegal, but I don't like. I think the way he did it, he didn't actually like drop his body. He
Mhm.
just like, it was so smooth. Like, I don't know.
To all of our viewers watching, drop down in the comments what you think the top 4 rankings are going to be. Like I said, we're going to be dropping them live as soon as we get the information.
What a waste. They have 6 reporters. They have Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati, Baylor, and Notre Dame. Why are they at Baylor or Notre Dame?
I know
Notre
there's not
Dame
a single person in those rooms who actually believes.
Right.
If one of those teams, like if Georgia turned the coin and ended up beating the shit out of Alabama, the next team in, do you think still it would be Notre Dame, even though they lost Brian Kelly?
No. Since the committee came out and said that they literally took that in consideration, no. I think they would. I think you'd have an argument for Baylor.
It would. I think that's the two teams. It would be Baylor or Ohio State. Those are your
It's
only
not,
two
it's not Ohio
options.
State. I don't think Ohio State. Take my bias out of it. I don't think a 2-loss, a team that didn't even play in the Big Ten championship, would even be a question.
Yeah, but the resume is for Ohio State is still better. Their loss is coming to the current number 2 team in the country, and then at the time the number 3 team in the country, who's now number 10 in Oregon. Well, granted, that will drop significantly with their the Utah beating the absolute dog shit out of them.
Are they going to finish top 25?
Yeah, they're at 10. They're at 10 right now from last week.
I'd say they'll drop
finish
to like 18, 19.
Very rarely do you see more than like a 12 spot drop. Like I think the most that I saw was Wisconsin, and Wisconsin went from 14 all the way out of the rankings.
Well, they sucked so at the time.
Yeah, well,
they sucked at the time.
I was careful with my words here. No, that's fine.
No, it's not slander. It's truth. Yeah, where's Cisco? By the way, I haven't seen him in about 2.
Cisco's. Hey, we got 5 people watching. Cisco's got to be one of them.
Cisco, where are you at, buddy? I haven't heard shit from you ever since.
We have no comments here, guys. What do you guys think about yesterday's games as well? What do you think about these possible matchups between the top 4 teams in the country? Like we all have agreed that the top 4 is going to be a combination of Georgia, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Michigan.
Yep.
Like we just don't know what the order is going to be. So definitely let us know what you think. If you guys got a problem with anything that we're talking about, to fucking drop it.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Like I heard Cisco real loud Friday before the Ohio State game. Haven't heard a word since. Don't know why. Who knows?
For hypothetical matchups, I'd actually love to see Baylor and Notre Dame. I think that'd be a pretty good game.
I like that.
That'd be
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that too.
I did. I don't know if you heard it last time, but I said if one of the teams were to lose, I would like to actually see Michigan Notre Dame as one of the matchups. Really the old rivalry restored. But
I was looking, and I swear, was there a random game thrown in here somewhere yesterday?
For what?
There was. Why did USC and Cal play?
Pac-12.
Yeah, that's not the Pac-12 championship game. So from Samuel Stonehouse,
what?
I think if there is an SEC rematch in the final, I'll vomit. Michigan
Yeah.
killed Iowa. I think they deserve number 1.
I like that guy. I like Samuel. And you got a badass Stonehouse name. I fuck with that. Yeah, I like what that guy's saying. Second, what he says. I don't know.
I just don't.
I
can't,
thought
we
it
can't,
was.
I can't see them rematching the SEC teams together in the first round, though.
If anything, they want to see that at the end, and that might not happen, but they would
I don't.
That would be good TV.
I think
They're not
Georgia
gonna
has
do
a
it
better
again.
opportunity. Like if Georgia and Alabama are in separate matchups in the first round, I think Georgia still has a better shot of coming out and making it into the final than an Alabama. Just because a defense can keep you in any game outside of course, what happened yesterday with Alabama, Georgia, because like I said before, I was watching that entire game and I thought Georgia still had an opportunity to win that game all the way down to the end of the game.
Yeah,
Am I wrong? Did anybody else think otherwise?
No, I tweeted out Alabama collapsing coming. That was right after Georgia scored and pulled it within 14.
Mm-hmm.
It's warranted. It's warranted because Alabama hasn't looked good against anybody, and Georgia, granted, we've already talked about their schedule is relatively easy, but Georgia was just steamrolling everybody. So, what's that?
Oklahoma wants to hire Brett Venables. OC
That would make
from Clemson,
sense.
right?
Yes, I think he's the OC for Clemson.
Yeah.
So I don't know why my brain immediately looked at this USC Cal game and immediately thought, did Lincoln Riley coach that game?
No.
Or
No?
too quick. That's probably some interim head coach until next year.
That's great. I don't know why.
That is weird.
Samuel thinks, I think Georgia used the championship game like a bye week. They should just throw Georgia out of the playoffs just for the fun of it. That would be something, but
Slip
they
them to
are
5 and put Notre Dame in at 4.
in the
The
country
uproar.
of these top teams. Most of them have 2 losses. Only a couple. Let me look again. So Notre Dame has 1 loss. And that's it. That's the only team outside the top 4 that we've been talking about that has 1 loss, because Oklahoma State lost yesterday, albeit if Oklahoma State won yesterday, I think they could have had an argument to make into the playoff.
They would have made some noise. Yeah.
Who?
Oklahoma State. If they would have won,
Oh.
like if he didn't come up that short. Did you guys see that last play of that game,
It
by the
was
way?
maybe a foot. If
Oh
that.
my
If
god.
that. Oh my, it was crazy.
I was having deja vu with the
Okay.
Indiana Penn State game
Oh.
last year.
Yep. Or the Tennessee game from like a couple decades ago.
Okay, the resume for Okay, well, they just showed the resumes between Alabama and Michigan.
I keep going off of that because I keep needing to do my research.
Right.
So what do we think would be the most ideal matchup? Like the most entertaining matchup, I should say, of the possibilities between these 4 teams?
Like right now or for the
Yeah.
championship?
For the championship.
Ooh.
I think a Michigan Bama would be the most
Michigan-Bama,
entertaining because you're going to put a lot of offense out on the field.
Yeah, and I got a buddy who's an Alabama fan who's been talking shit, so I would love to shut him up. So
Alabama
personal
fans
reasons
are worse than Ohio State fans.
I know. Well, no, but close.
I thought I'd get him to slip up on
Close. No, close though. Because
I tried.
he's just like, oh, you guys are the like 4th best team in the country. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh god, he wanted me to punch him in the face. God,
Why do they have this Notre Dame guy here?
I don't know, but why is everything empty behind him?
Because
Are
they
they
all
doing
know.
like a graduation thing or something? Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's there
It's
for
not
a
very
different
big
celebration.
graduation.
Right. He's
Maybe. Oh, it might be a
panned to him.
graduation.
What am I even doing here? I don't even know why I'm here.
Thanks for the day off, guys.
Oh, they're about to introduce the new coach. So is the new coach going to coach the New York Six Bowl?
Ooh.
Who's their new
Because
coach?
because
Isn't he the
it's
D
their-
isn't he the
yeah.
D coordinator?
Yeah.
Is it the D
So-
coordinator or the O
No,
coordinator?
it is. It's D.
Okay.
So does he coach? Right? He coaches that. I mean, he's already on
Yeah.
the team. It's not an outside hire.
Yeah, I mean, with him being on the inside, I think if some of these teams that got like new coaches, like USC or LSU, like if they make a bowl game, which I don't think either of them will because both of them were pretty bad. I have to look at what LSU ended
I
at.
gotta love Baylor. Molly McGrath is in Baylor. Players have the day off. No watch party scheduled. Dave Aranda is on a recruiting trip. The word playoff was never mentioned in the post-game locker room. Why are you there then?
Because they know they're not making the playoff, so it don't matter.
I mean,
None of those top
weird.
four
I don't
teams
know.
slipped up outside of Georgia.
All I
And
know is
Georgia's
Molly-
not going to fall all the way out of the top four.
All I know is Molly McGrath is a smoke show, so that's all I got.
I will agree with that.
I'm just
So all of these teams that got new head coaches, they're not going to get resume comparison. I don't know why they're doing this. We know who the top four teams are. I just want to know the order at this point. As T-Bone takes a big bite of his food. Corey, what do you think would be the best matchup between these four teams?
Like championship, I'd say Michigan, Bama. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, offensive Firebirds on both sides. And I mean, yeah, you'd probably get a shootout there. Michigan,
Nah.
Georgia would be a really good championship game, but it's just
Nah.
not gonna, I think that's the first round.
we
so.
shut down one Heisman quarterback. We'll do it again.
I mean,
Alabama is not Ohio State, though.
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say,
know. They're better.
an Ohio State quarterback is
He's
they're
also
better.
going
Trust
to
me when I say an Ohio State quarterback doesn't mean much.
Nope. No, it does not. Never has.
I'm on my own island again. Where's Keith? I need
That's
Keith.
why Ohio State's best quarterback went and transferred to play for LSU.
Keith. Keith.
Keith.
Keith, I need help.
So they added another bowl game this year, right?
Yes.
I heard
Did
they
they?
added another
I
one.
hear
'Cause there's,
Barstool has a bowl game this year, too.
I think,
Yeah. They
there's
own
more-
all the
I'm-
rights. They get to do everything.
Yeah, I'm super excited
I
for
wonder
that.
if they get to pick the teams. Like, hey, these are like here's like a
no.
I don't
like,
think
here-
I have
that
a
authority.
selection committee for
no,
that.
right, but like say
Give us Notre Dame. No.
no, but like say here's like a list of 12 teams that we could possibly fit into your game. Who would you want to cover? I wonder if they would do anything like that.
I don't know if they get
Maybe.
that much authority. That'd be cool.
They
though.
don't. It would be amazing, but let me see how long this college football playoff thing is. Because if this is going to take a while, we might not. Oh, this could take a while. It looks like it's going for until 3:00.
No.
Yeah, that's what it says. Because they're going to release all of the bowl games in this. I would
What?
assume. I think if you look at Georgia's resume, they really have beaten
saying.
absolutely nobody. We did talk about that earlier. I don't think nobody is a true statement, but they have beaten most of their schedule is pretty easy. But look at Bama's. Bama, their credible win is obviously Georgia, and then Ole Miss, I think, is their next best win, and then a massive drop off because the SEC has been down this year, in my opinion. They have 3 wins against ranked teams. And they are all high 20s. Maybe Georgia is actually bad. No.
I will
No.
say this. He has
Maybe.
somewhat of a point in that if you take Georgia's resume and you put it up against Alabama, Michigan, and Cincy, it's night and day. They all have way better wins than Georgia does. I will say that.
Yep.
And that's why I think Georgia should be 4, but hopefully they don't do.
All of these teams,
Cincinnati
I'll give
bogus.
you credit for this because all of these teams have a top 5 because I think Notre Dame will be 5 still, or not still, but they'll be 5 by the end of the day. The other 3 teams have a top 5 win.
Yep.
Michigan has defeated Ohio State, who was in the top. I think they were 3 or 2.
They were 2.
When
Yeah.
I think they were 2. Yeah. Cincinnati beat Notre Dame, and then Alabama obviously took down number 1 Georgia.
Yep.
And I'm still saying it's not what I want it to be, but I still think that why Michigan should be number 1. No, they're going to put out. I personally think I think Michigan should be number 1, but I'm telling you what I think is going to happen, and that's going to be Alabama 1, Michigan 2. Oh, we have a little bit of a back.
We need a new
We
committee.
might start a little bit of back and forth here
Yeah.
in the
I like that name. I love it.
Knuckles, Dan Knuckles. Keep it going in the comments, guys. No, I think it's going to be Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. I think you can make an argument to put Cincinnati at 3 as well. I think Georgia at 4 would be because that would line up a rematch from this weekend.
Cincinnati has a better win than Georgia. I'd be really shocked if it went any other way.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. Georgia's been number one literally ever since it came out.
I know it would be weird, but if you stack up
to
the
drop,
resumes,
yeah, so to drop them to 4. No, did BYU move at all? Ooh,
We haven't gotten the rankings haven't been released quite yet, and with BYU
Yeah.
not playing, I think if they moved, it wouldn't be very far because their ranking was 12, and the only teams that lost in front of them this week was Oklahoma State and Georgia, and I don't see Oklahoma State dropping that far because it was a really close game. I think that's going to be another one where it's almost flipped. I think Baylor can climb up to like number 6. Notre Dame would slide into the 5 spot. And Oklahoma State would drop to probably either 8 or 9, which would move Ole Miss. I think it's just going to be a shuffle of those 4 teams between 5 and 9.
Which realistically doesn't really matter.
Right. But I mean, it matters in a little bit because it does matter for like seating in like different, like if they go to a New York or New Year's Six Bowl.
Does that matter?
It
Like
can.
the Rose Bowl doesn't care about the rankings.
Well, and the thing that okay, he has reared his head, T-Bone.
Yeah,
he agrees with you.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see Ohio State in there. No.
Oh, he put Georgia at 4.
I like that. Yeah.
That makes the most sense, but it won't happen.
No, is this one of the first years where we don't know who's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4? We just know the teams.
Yeah. There's no
Because generally in years past,
we know one.
Right.
Yeah.
We know one. And I think it's a toss-up to see who's going to put in if Michigan or Alabama is going to be number 1. They both have impressive wins. Their resumes are very similar. They have, granted, the loss that Michigan has is a much better loss.
Criteria used to rank teams. Rank the teams based on the committee members' evaluation of the team's performance on the field. Use conference champions 1, strength of schedule, head-to-head results, and comparison results against common opponents to decide among teams that are comparable. If you do that, Georgia's the 4th best team left.
I would agree with that.
Especially with strength of schedule.
Sam says, sorry, T-Bone, you're gone for a second. It will be Alabama 1, Michigan 2, probably. I just want Michigan to get an easy win over Cincinnati and then have a chance to win a championship. Are you from Michigan, my friend? I don't think they can go through both SEC teams. No,
Give me them both. Give me them both. Give them both. Bring it.
Smoke. Who do you want first?
It ain't going to be Ohio State. They ain't from Columbus, Cisco. They haven't been relevant for the last 2.5 weeks, buddy. So, I don't know. That's fine.
That doesn't even make sense.
He thinks Cincy will be the national champion.
No. That's like the only team that Here we go. They have the board up.
Do they? I'm going to listen quick.
Ohio State is number 6.
Oh, they're doing it right now. Okay.
Oh, they are.
Ohio State is number 6. Justin says Alaska University looking good this week.
They are.
Oh my God.
Notre Dame 5?
I would think Notre Dame would be 5.
Or Baylor.
Baylor would make more sense because
Ohio State moved up 1.
I think Michigan will handle Georgia, but I don't know about Alabama. Oh, we got the comments swirling right now. I like it. So we have Ohio State at number 6 right now. They're going to talk about it for probably a couple seconds.
You know what? I really would have loved to them just not even be in there. Get them the fuck out of here. I don't need to see their.
They're the best. They're the best 2-loss team in the country. Come on. I was going
to say
Michigan to the Natty to get blown
Notre
out.
Dame.
Oh, Cisco.
Number
So it's
5.
just like when you guys went and got blown out. Okay, no problem. Yep.
All right, so that has guaranteed our top 4 teams. Notre Dame has risen up to number 5.
Nope, Alabama dropped to 6. Or Georgia dropped to 6.
I was going to say Alabama to 7. Jesus. All right, so what do we think is going to be number 4? Cincinnati, or Georgia?
Give me Georgia.
I want it to be Georgia. I think it'll be.
It has to be, man.
I think it would make more sense because of how they lost. I think, but it's so weird to say that a one-loss Georgia team that's been rolling so consistently the entire year, albeit against sub-average teams. Dan says Georgia will be number 4. Cisco, fuck off. We're not talking about Wisconsin. They're not even ranked. I personally think Cincinnati will be here, but I think Georgia belongs there. There it is. Cincinnati is your number 4 team.
Bullshit. What makes me so mad? That Notre Dame win is blaring right now. I don't care what anyone. Okay, yeah.
Cincinnati's number 4. Who is
Oh.
going to face Cincinnati? Is it going to
Congrats,
be Michigan
T-Bone.
or Alabama?
Give me my number one, fuckers.
Oh,
No,
my
you wanted
God.
both SEC teams. Now I hope they're at 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, but I'll also take the easy win.
Yeah, right.
Is
Beat
it
another
an
Ohio
easy
team.
win, though? You've been on the Cincinnati train all year, T-Bone.
Of the pool
I
that
know
they're in, though.
it's really hurtful. It's really hurtful that now I have to be like actively against them, even though I've been on their bandwagon the entire year. So
Is this
Make
like
it
your is this
game.
like your Cardinals Packers game where you were struggling with who to root
Yeah,
for?
it will be. 64.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wouldn't
Bama.
that be something? Wouldn't that
Georgia
be
versus
something
Bama
if
again. No,
Cincinnati
it won't
somehow
be.
can pull that off, though?
It's
It'll
gonna be
take a
Michigan.
lot.
No, if Georgia's at 3,
I'm saying right now Georgia's going
Michigan's
to be 3.
at
It
2.
hasn't been released yet, but Georgia's going to be 3.
Yeah.
100%.
It's just going to be the 1-2 debate.
Yep, and it's a matchup thing. So this is actually entertaining to watch the top 4.
because
Come
no
on,
one knows.
what do you got? No one knows. No one knows until we know.
The only thing that Alabama has on Michigan is they have a couple more wins against the top 40. They're like Alabama's 9-1, Michigan's like 6-1.
Mm. That's just more games, too. So
There it is.
Right.
Georgia, number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that means that
So
Michigan.
who is it? So who is it gonna be?
Well,
Oh,
judging
I
by how
want my
stupid
number
that
one.
Cincinnati decision was, Bama's probably at 1.
Bama's probably. That's what I said from the get
If,
go.
right,
I
but
know.
if you just objectively look at everything, Cincinnati should be 3. But now that I see what they did with Cincinnati, Bama's definitely 1.
So what it should be is Michigan 1, Alabama 2, Cincinnati 3, and
Yes.
Georgia 4. That's what it should be.
But the
But we
committee's
know
stupid.
how they think. So I don't think they want. They went away from the graphic for now. So I don't think they want Alabama Georgia again because they want Alabama Georgia as a national championship game because they think it's going to be the best matchup. I highly
Yeah.
disagree. I think Michigan against one of those two teams is a better matchup, is a more entertaining matchup. I think if you get Michigan against Georgia, it's going to be a defensive struggle of a game. Very entertaining, in my opinion. I also think that Michigan against, they have the resume comparison, both 12-1. The strength of resume is 1 to Alabama, 2 to Michigan. Strength of schedule is 4th for Alabama, 21st for Michigan, and then 9-1 against FPI top 40s for Alabama and 5-1 for FPI top 40s for Michigan. I think if they're going just off of resume, it's Alabama, but you have to look at the eye test too. I think Michigan is coming in a little bit stronger, but we know what the committee thinks about Alabama.
Oh yeah.
We know that they're under the desk. They're doing a little extracurricular activity.
No, they're just gonna drool over the win yesterday.
Very true. Very true. So I think
No, we don't, but the committee probably does.
that's
So
what they want.
look at this resume. Look at this resume. They're damn near identical. Strength of schedule is 4th for Alabama. I get that, but that's not. I mean, Michigan's side of their conference is arguably just as good as Alabama's.
It's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, I know. Fucking JJ McCarthy. Not even our starting quarterback.
That was a hell of a game, though. That Michigan
shut
State
up.
game.
Shut up. No, it was not.
T-Bone's like, it was the worst game of the year. Shouldn't have even been
I
broadcasted.
personally think that Michigan's defense could line up decently against Alabama, though, because they're more of a passing offense, and Michigan has been susceptible to the run. Alabama number 1, which means Michigan is playing Georgia in the first
Fucking
round.
bullshit.
The second I saw that Cincinnati decision, I'm like, okay.
What a bunch of bullshit.
I saw they pulled up Alabama, and I was
Whatever.
like, Alabama's
Maybe
number
Georgia.
2, and then they slid them in. There
It
you
makes
go,
sense
Georgia.
because they want Alabama to just run over Cincy and get a one-way ticket.
They're not going to run over Cincy.
No, they're
No.
going to lose to Cincinnati. And I can't
I
fucking.
hope it
Wouldn't that
happens.
be something?
I can't wait.
That'd be a big middle finger to the committee because no,
Oh, they're so
Well, they-
excited. Why are they so excited?
we knew what the 4 were, but they still
Fine.
managed to screw it up. The 5.
So I was
yeah.
right. So I was right with what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
That's not what it should be. Cincinnati should have jumped Georgia as well, but I mean,
Whatever.
it is what it is, and
Whatever.
we'll record for
guess
probably another 10 or 15 minutes, but we're gonna try and bring out some.
I guess
see if
Georgia.
they
I guess
release
Georgia's
some
just
bowls.
not winning a game the rest of the season. That's fine.
How does Michigan beat Georgia then?
Doesn't fucking matter. We beat the shit out of them.
Okay,
I'm not
good
concerned.
answer. Corey, how
I'm
does
not
Michigan
concerned.
beat Georgia?
I would say run the ball, but Georgia's really good at defending the run, so they're gonna have to air it out like they did this week.
I
They're
think
gonna
if
have
they
to
win,
mix
it's
it
going to
up.
be on McNamara.
Yep.
Oh God, don't tell me that.
Should have Graham
Hold on,
Mertz instead.
Cisco. No, nobody. That is not a Milwaukee hat. Nope, that says Michigan.
I was gonna say they got new team colors.
Right. No, so a lot like two of the big plays. Why? Oh, Davis is just okay.
I'm still here.
I know. Michigan showed against Ohio State they can be a dynamic offense and
That's not any
balance.
issues.
McNamara looked well against Ohio State. He didn't have to look good last night. The interception that he threw was not really his fault. It was a little bit behind the wide receiver, but the guy had two hands on it. He just dropped it and tipped it. I'm perfectly confident in their ability to run the ball against a good defense, a la Iowa and Ohio State and Wisconsin.
That's true. Yep.
So Michigan has proven to be able to impose their will on good defenses. Alabama just did that to Georgia. I can see Michigan doing the same. Maybe not to the tune of 300 yards like Ohio State, but 180, 170 with you need to get to 400 total yards of offense to beat that team. How they get there doesn't matter.
I would have to. Michigan, Georgia is going to be a toss-up. I think they're going to come out as favorites. I think Georgia is going to come out probably, what did you say, 9 or 9.5?
9.
9? I think it's going to stay at 9, personally.
I wouldn't be shocked. If it
I
drops
think
a
it
little bit.
I think it should be closer than that because I think Michigan has. Oh, Sam has spoken. Michigan does not beat Georgia. Georgia has so much talent. It will require a coaching miracle, and I think Harbaugh has used all of his magic sauce up on Ohio. I kind of agree with him because what was Harbaugh saying before the season? Well, we gotta beat Ohio State. We gotta beat Ohio State. That's what he was preaching, and I'm like, cool. But now you've beaten Ohio State. What's your next move? Now you have to beat Georgia. And Georgia's a better team. Georgia's a better team than Ohio State.
Yeah, probably.
They have an above average quarterback. I'm not going to call him a great quarterback. They have the same caliber quarterback as they've had for the last 10 years.
What? Take a guess at the lines. They just came out.
Oh, for Cincy, I'm going to say they have Alabama 14.5.
I'll say 17.
14.
It's
14?
Yeah.
You disrespect them.
Michigan, Georgia, 7.5.
I was going to say 6, but I like 7.5. I would like 6.5 a lot better if I was going to bet on Georgia, but I would not be able to bet 7.5 because if Georgia's going to win, it's going to be a close game.
Michigan, Cincy, money line.
That's ballsy. I wonder what that payout would be.
A lot. Probably
what?
times 5, times 6, times 7.
Cisco's trying to mess with you now.
How much you want to wager on that? How much you want to wager?
Did you see the comment?
Irrelevant. I don't discuss teams not in the playoff anymore.
Oh, well, jeez. A little spiteful, but all right.
Okay, so on the Cincy Michigan money line, how much you want me to bet? Let me see. Just give me a number.
$25.
Would win you just under $400.
Oh my gosh.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Cincy Michigan money line.
I mean, the money line
only wins you a lot.
I mean, Cincy money line's plus 410, Michigan plus 225.
So. All right, so I personally think it's going to be a rematch of yesterday's SEC championship game. I think that's what's going to happen. I think the talent of Georgia. Yes, Michigan has arguably the best pass rusher in the country.
Both of them, actually.
No.
David Ajobo has 11
They have
sacks.
2 top 5. I'll give you 2 top 5.
David Ajobo literally had 11 sacks, which would have tied the record if Hutchinson on the other side didn't break it for the school record. They have 2 of the best pass rushers in the country. End of story.
College records are so weird because you can have the most passing yards from a Western Kentucky team.
Hey, Zappy's good. Shut the fuck up.
I agree Zappy's good, but is he even sitting on any mock draft boards right now?
I don't know, maybe.
The Bears will probably go after him.
They should.
They'll reach.
Because we all know Ohio State quarterbacks can't compete in the big games.
Yeah.
Corey, at least you know that you have the Bulls right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the
right?
only-
Oh my gosh. I'm going to a Bulls-Nets game next month, and judging by what just happened last night, man, it's looking good.
Go Bulls. Wait, is this the guy that made the selections?
What's that?
Hold on.
Him? He's the college football playoff
I
selection
know.
committee chair.
I know. Shh. Shut up, Gary. Oh, this guy's name's Gary. He is irrelevant in my life from now on.
He's gotta be the
Gary
most hated man in
Barta.
America right now.
What a loser.
So okay, T-Bone, I know you're passionate about the Wolverines. What are your actual realistic expectations for this game?
We're winning the national championship. We
That's
beat
not
Ohio State.
realistic.
That is realistic. People would have said us beating Ohio State wasn't realistic by what we did.
That's
So,
valid.
like, if I went to you on that Friday and said Michigan is going to beat the shit out of Ohio State, you'd be like, yeah, okay. Even I said it wasn't going to happen. I was like, we'll probably lose, but, this is how we have to win the game. And then we did, and we did it handily. So, now I'm all in, and nothing's going to, dissuade me from that. We saw Georgia look human, and bye-bye. Bye-bye, Georgia. No more wins in 2021.
Oh man, I'm looking at the resume for Cincinnati, and they have their strength of resume at 4 and their strength of schedule at 87. How? They have a win against the 5th best team in the country.
I don't think they ranked it in terms of that. I think they took it like the actual metrics of strength of schedule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the rest of their schedule is not that great.
No,
Right.
not at
They
all.
had their next best win is against Indiana, who we have figured out is absolute walking.
If it wasn't for that Notre Dame win, Cincinnati's probably like fringe top 25 just because of their
Oh,
the
they
rest of the teams they play.
Sam, T-Bone, you guys are one and the same. T-Bone has been preaching that ever since we started this podcast.
Yeah, but we've changed that. We haven't lost to Ohio State in the 2020s, so
Oh my!
don't know what to tell you. It's a
Did you
new
guys play
decade.
last year? Didn't you guys play last year?
No, that's why he's saying that.
Nope.
Oh.
No, we did not.
Don't get used to that, but that CJ Stroud, another year of CJ Stroud is going to do them well.
Don't
The
give a
re-
shit.
drafted.
We have to see how Mechie is because Mechie went down in that game, and we have to
He
figure
tore
out
his
what that
ACL.
injury
He's
is.
out. He's
He
out.
tore his ACL?
Uh-huh.
Since he does have a shot then.
Yeah.
Since he definitely has a shot then. Because, yes, they have still an electric receiver in Williams. I don't remember his Jameson Williams. I don't remember the guy's first name, but Williams, he's a burner. And it seems like Alabama's always got one of those like burners down the side. They had Ruggs, like they've always had stud
That guy goes
receiving
real
cores.
fast.
Yeah, Ruggs goes real fast.
Also, I am concerned. My main concern is Georgia's tight end. That guy is a fucking animal. Their freshman tight end, Brandon Bowers or whatever.
Oh, Bowers. Oh,
that
my
guy
God.
is ridiculous.
That there was a catch
So-
where he was like triple coverage, and he somehow came down with the ball. Like he is a monster.
So I'm pretty confident if we scheme to stop him, I ain't worried about any other Georgia skill players. Like who's their
You don't-
quarterback?
Stinson Bennett.
Right, trash. He's not JT
It was
Daniels.
supposed to be JT
JT
Daniels.
Yeah, I don't know why he's
supposed
not.
to be.
So
I
you're telling
thought
me
he
this
was.
is
I
Spencer
couldn't remember if he
Rattler-
was hurt or if Bennett just outplayed him or something.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We have two quarterbacks too. It works fine. It always works.
You hate JJ McCarthy.
I hate JJ McCarthy right now.
All
I do.
you've done on this podcast is shit on that man.
I know. Well, he cost me an undefeated season. So clearly, we'd be number one, and we get to play Cincinnati.
That's not the only reason you lost that game.
Oh, we're the Orange Bowl.
Yes, you are the
The other
only
one is the
Where-
Cotton Bowl.
They play that at Miami's the Dolphins arena, right?
I don't know.
So
Cotton Bowl. Where's that?
is that
Dallas?
Dallas.
Is that
No, it's
Indianapolis?
not Dallas. It's in Texas. I just don't know where in
Oh.
Texas.
why did I want to say it was
NRG? Is that at Houston?
It might be. No, they have there's a separate arena for the Cotton Bowl. It's the same thing for like the Rose Bowl game.
Wait, no,
They-
they don't. That's not a separate arena. That's where the USC plays. It's the Coliseum.
The Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
No, the Rose Bowl is the Rose Bowl.
No.
There's one college game a year that's played at the Rose Bowl, and that is the
Wrong.
Rose Bowl.
No.
I bet you $10 right now that it is USC plays in the Coliseum. And that is a
Rose Bowl Stadium.
USC does not play there.
Sorry, my bad. UCLA plays there.
Okay, what?
Teams.
What?
Yes.
Well, you're still, regardless, your statement was wrong, sir.
No, you said it was wrong because you said they play one game a year. No, they don't. UCLA plays there every year.
They just dress it up real nice for New Year's.
They dress it up real nice for New Year's.
Yep.
The Rose Bowl is an American outdoor athletic stadium located in Los Angeles, suburb of Pasadena.
Oops.
The Rose Bowl facilities, UCLA.
You're still wrong, my friend. You said the wrong team. That's still wrong.
Okay, but you said only one game is played there a year, which is more wrong. I said that it's a home team, it's a home stadium for a team. I said the wrong team, but I still had the Southern California LA part right.
Still wrong. Our bet is null. Our bet is null and void. Because neither of us were technically right.
I was more right though.
So wait, they said the top 6. Did they say anybody outside of the top 6 yet?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Wisconsin's definitely 7
right now.
Who? They're not.
What do you say?
I said Wisconsin's definitely 7.
Oh yeah, number 7. It's gonna
Baylor
be
7.
Baylor 7. I'm surprised
right,
Baylor
Wisconsin's
wasn't 6.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Northwestern is 225th or something.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Nice.
That's easy.
The Big Ten with
They just ate
this was a
themselves.
really weird year of college football because we almost had a year where we didn't have the top powers in the playoff. We almost didn't have Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Alabama. That is like usually those marquee, like it's a combination of those 4 teams. We have one of those 4 teams, and I'm super excited for it. And you know what? I would love to sit around and wait for some other bowl games to be released, but I think we're going to put together a special bowl episode where we just run down all of the bowl games and not just sit here and wait for it. Maybe we'll tease some things on Twitter, what we think about the different bowl matchups that come up, but we will put together another episode for that. Is there anything else you two boys want to get off of your chest today?
Oh yeah, we're winning the national championship. We're beating everyone by
fucking
10 double
shocker.
digits. We're beating everyone by double digits.
No.
Yep.
Corey.
Give me Bama at the end.
I want both SEC teams. Give me them both so I can tell them.
I want Cincinnati. I want Cincinnati to win the Natty.
That'd
be really cool. I'm okay with that.
I would love that. I would. That's my team I want. But the team I'm picking it's going to be Georgia Bama. It's Georgia Bama too. I would put Georgia this time. I think Georgia can get it right the second time around, and I'm picking Georgia to win the Natty this year. Drop in the comments on YouTube. I see that still a couple people are still watching. Drop a comment and let us know who you think. Oh, they're talking to Harbaugh. Gross.
Woo!
Drop a comment, and then anybody who is watching on YouTube, definitely. Wow, my English is terrible today. Definitely check out the audio on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, and Anchor. We also, as you can see, we are live on YouTube and Facebook, and then definitely check out the Instagram and the TikTok. Yeah, we're SoundCloud rappers. I always T-Bone's a SoundCloud rapper.
Oh yeah, give it to him. Yeah, throw up gang signs.
That ended interestingly. But for MV3, my name's Kyle. That's Corey, and that's
I am
T-Bone.
Mr. Right.
Oh yeah, let me give you that back for a second. All right.
Oh
So let's just do one of these. Look, it's Mr. Right.
Believe in the khakis, baby.
Sign us off, T-Bone.
No, I'm good. That's all you got. Nope, we're out. Peace out, homies.
Later, guys.
Only thing with the White Sox, I say they've been coasting into the playoffs, and Tampa Bay's been having to win. It just depends on who gets hot.
The Philadelphia Eagles do have an opportunity.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say the Atlanta Falcons.
No, fuck no.
Oh god, yeah, that would have been warranted.
Paul George to show up again, and they need Reggie Jackson to be the best point guard left standing outside of Trae Young, who's hurt.